Mr. Mahumapelo, good evening. Thanks very much for your time. The ANC has always taken money from private donors for its campaigns, conferences, election campaigns, that is. Now, what is the difference here?
Well, good evening, Voyo, and also let me take this opportunity to greet the viewers of ENCA Channel 403, but also want to take this opportunity to give a message of condolence for the passing away of Comrade Bavelile, our Deputy Minister, one of the very vibrant young women here in Parliament who came from the ranks of the ANC Youth League, the student movement. May her soul rest in peace. In the same vein, there's a family in the Eastern Cape who were on holiday and they were killed by some unknown assailants. We hope that the law enforcement authorities will find those people and make sure that they face the might of the law. Well, in as far as your question is concerned, the African National Congress as an organization does have a position that says it will mobilize amongst the people of South Africa, those who are interested in seeing the policies of the ANC being strengthened and being implemented and succeeding, for them to support that financially. So as an organization, to raise money is not a problem.
But then, why are you then are you having an issue with these CR17 campaign donations?
When we went to the last conference, the NASREC conference, the National Executive Committee of the ANC had ensured that the delegates are taken care of in terms of accommodation, in terms of food, in terms of transport, and all other leaders and invitees who were there. So as a structure, the responsibility was taken to make sure that everything goes smoothly. But recently we have seen in the news reports suggesting that outside those formal processes of the organization, there was massive mobilization of financial resources to influence the direction of the discussions and policy of the African National Congress, including on who the branches of the ANC should be electing to lead in the National Executive Committee. Now, according to the constitution of the ANC, that is against the procedures of the African National Congress, but also is against the traditions and the approaches of the ANC, because if business people want to influence policy of the ANC, they must join the ANC. If they don't want to join the ANC, there are platforms where the ANC discusses openly matters of policy. So they can go there and influence the ideas within the African National Congress. If they don't want to attend those meetings where policy is discussed, they can make petitions to the African National Congress leadership. Now here is something that is unusual, where there are these allegations that business people in this country and elsewhere have mobilized capital to make sure that a particular direction of policy in the form of the leadership that will be elected is adopted by the ANC. And as far as we are concerned, that is tantamount to counter-revolution, wanting to misdirect the policy processes of the African National Congress. And the ANC cannot afford to fold its arms and just look at this matter. That's why we are suggesting, some of us, that the NEC must discuss this matter, take a decision, take decisive steps against the individuals involved as part of our renewal and building unity as decided by NASREC conference.
Well, what do you say to people who are wondering why you're so preoccupied with this matter when, I don't know if you've seen, over the past couple of days we've been running stories about houses of councillors in the Northwest that have been burnt by people who are complaining about service delivery. You know, while you were Premier, there was the whole Mediosa matter, which is still hanging. Now, if anything, you, as a person who was a leader of the ANC in the Northwest as Premier, failed the people of that province. You didn't do the things you're supposed to do. And when you find your voice, it's only about what happens, you know, with these donations. Why is that?
Well, it's because you guys, you don't want to listen. You do selective listening in as far as some of the issues we write about when we say are concerned. This is not preoccupation about the donations. We have a program of renewal and unity of the ANC, and anything that seems to threaten the progress towards attaining that unity and renewal, we can't leave it unattended. As far as the matters currently are concerned in the Northwest, there's a leadership that is dealing with those particular matters and trusted by both the ANC and the government. And I think they are equal to the task. They will be able to deal with those particular challenges. Where we need to support, we are supporting to make sure that the situation returns back to normality.
I mean, as someone who was in charge, do you not think that you should take the lead in correcting the wrongs that we are seeing in the Northwest?
There's a leadership that is there for you. I can't just be parachuting myself into that particular situation. But also remember, Vuyo, that on your channel, I came about 4 or 5 months ago to indicate to you that there are people who have come forward to me, not a rumor, not in the corners, to confess and gave me all the details, how they were paid and how they were mobilized to create a situation which had to appear like it is destabilization, because a particular political narrative had to be created. We have passed that stage now. There is an interim provincial executive committee in place which is executing the mandate to try and renew and unite the province. So we are all in that mood now of trying to support unity and stability in the province.
Well, let's just say that those people were telling you the truth. But would these people who were sent to or bought to destabilize you and destabilize the Northwest, would they be responsible for the Mediosa scandal?
If there is any information that relates to corruption anywhere in the organs of state within South Africa, there are processes laid down which we must follow, all of us. We must abide by the law. We shouldn't be promoting a situation where people are going to be using violence and general anarchy to destabilize our areas, which will affect our economy in terms of confidence by investors. And in the name of corruption, people can ban things, destroy property, and so on. Those who are corrupt, there are processes to deal with them. And there was no need for people to be mobilized, for people to be paid, and for operation centers to be set up to target one individual through lies. So lies have got short legs. That's why these people came forward and said we're bought. And they can't lie. They were on record.
How is the transition from being Premier to being a Member of Parliament going?
Well, it's going very well. Remember, we are all controlled by the African National Congress. It gives us mandates. So I'm deployed as the chairperson of the Tourism Portfolio Committee. And currently, as you know, Vuyo, tourism accounts for 425 billion rand of GDP in South Africa, which is about 8.6%, creating about 1.5 million jobs. Now, according to the pronouncement of the President in the State of the Nation address, we should be by 2030 be having just over 22 million tourists coming into South Africa to make sure that we deal with challenges of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. So as a head of the movement, given this responsibility, is to execute it to the best of my ability. What we have done yesterday in the committee, we have adopted a new approach of making sure that we put at the center of oversight of the executive the masses of our people. That is why we have adopted a policy on making sure that there is tourism oversight forums, which we are going to establish throughout the country, in the villages, all the townships and the small towns, which is the small dorpies in the country. The other matter that we are going to be focusing on, September to September, is transformation of the tourism industry, because the industry is refusing to transform. So the decision we have taken is that we are going to be a bit merciless, particularly with the private sector, in as far as the matter of tourism transformation is concerned, and we hope that they will cooperate, because if they don't, then it will mean that not all of us are committed to building a non-racial, united, democratic, non-sexist, and a prosperous society. But we will not be adopting an antagonistic approach. We said as a committee that we'll be adopting a reciprocative approach to doing oversight, because we want people throughout our country, particularly the rural people who are in the villages, to benefit from tourism. It has been too long that they have not been playing any role in the tourism sector, and we can't wait any longer. It has been 25 years down the line. We must move more aggressive going forward.
And how is your book project going?
The big project, the 4 books project, is going very well. We hope that by the end of October we will release that book, Truth, the Casualty. That is the title of the book. So we'll inform South Africans as we move towards the launch of that particular book. It's exciting. The second book is Supranomics Philosophy, where we talk about how we think the economies of the villages, the townships, and the small dorpies, based on the Chinese model, can be developed and be advanced.
Best of luck with your book projects. We're looking forward to hearing what you have to share with South Africa. Former Northwest Premier Supra Mahumapelo.